Okay.
Okay, welcome to County Court Law Number 6 Remote. It is approximately 2:30 p.m. on Monday, the 9th of November, 2020. This is Judge Wayne Christian. We have one plea and approximately 9 motions to revoke probation or motions to adjudicate today. My understanding is that in cause number 529925, State of Texas versus Byron Shovel Johnson, and in cause number 624186, State of Texas versus Sonny Hernandez Macias, both Mr. Johnson and Mr. Macias have not appeared today. I would ask Ms. Kogut as attorney for Mr. Johnson if that is true.
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
Did you make any attempts to try to contact him? What exactly is going on with him, as best you can tell?
Okay, Your Honor, I called him several times, left voicemail. I emailed him as well. As of today, I haven't had any contact with Mr. Johnson.
Okay, at this point in time, we're going to issue a failure to appear and issue a warrant for him. If you hear from him, please contact Pat immediately, and we'll make arrangements to have this hearing reset, and we'll recall the warrant. Fair enough?
Will do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Same question. You bet. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Same questions for Mr. Friedman with regard to representation of Sonny Hernandez Macias. Have you heard from Mr. Macias?
We have not, Your Honor. We contacted his bond company. All the numbers they had for him are disconnected, and they've come off his bond. We've never had any contact with him.
Okay. Well, at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and issue an FTA on him and issue a warrant. If you do hear from him, please immediately contact Pat. We'll make arrangements to reset this hearing, and we'll recall the warrant. Fair enough?
Yes, sir. We'll keep trying.
And you're dismissed. Thank you for appearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Miller, I've got 2 cases for you. One is a plea and one is an MTR. Are you ready to go forward on both of those at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Representing the state in all these cases is going to be Mr. Nicholas Maru. Representing the Bexar County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross. Ms. Gross, please raise your right hand and I will swear you in. Do you swear the testimony you are about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Is Susan on? Can you hear me? Oh, Susan's mugged.
Sorry. Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you very much. Let's start with Mr. Calvillo's plea. This is cause number 635980, State of Texas versus Gabriel Calvillo, excuse me. And he's represented by Mr. Tony Miller. Once again, representing the state is Mr. Nicholas Maru. This is a plea, and I think a judgment satisfied plea bargain. Is that correct, Mr. Miller?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Correct, Mr. Maru.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Calvillo and Mr. Miller, I'm holding in front of you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference that is purportedly signed by both of you. Mr. Calvillo, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Miller, will this be your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
You. The next document I have on this case is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights. Let me back up. Is a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. In this particular case, the court has marked as a plea bargain case and the defendant has no right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Calvillo?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on this document, Mr. Miller?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Mr. Calvillo, I'm now holding in front of you a document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, sir, is that your signature on this document also?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, Mr. Miller, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Miller, as attorney for Mr. Calvillo, have you had enough time to go over this case with him, and in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
My opinion, he is, Your Honor.
Mr. Calvillo, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Miller, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
They have, Your Honor.
Mr. Calvillo, in cause 635980 to the charge of driving while intoxicated first offense. How do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Is there an agreement for Mr. Calvillo?
Yes, Judge. It's going to be 95 days, Bexar County Jail, $200 fine, court costs, credit for time served, time money to run concurrent. This is a judgment satisfied. And judge, for the record, the information states that his name is Calvillo, I think, and the correct name should be Calvillo. Do you mind getting your client to clarify that on the record, Mr. Miller?
Sure. Mr. Calvillo, would you tell the court what your correct spelling of your last name is?
Calbillo.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, state, I'm assuming the state is moving to amend the information to reflect the correct spelling of the defendant's name as C as in Charlie, A as in Alpha, L as in Lima, B as in Bravo, I as in India, L as in Lima, L as in Lima, O as in Oscar, Calvillo. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
It is currently incorrectly spelled Calvillo with a V as in Victor. Any objection to that, Mr. Miller?
No, Your Honor.
That will be granted. Mr. Calvillo, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated. First offense, I find you guilty. I assess 95 days in the Bexar County Jail, a $200 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Also order recalling all pretrial services, bond increases, bond conditions, including Scram, Smart Start Mobile, and Global Positioning System. And we are in UA. So you are free, my son. Any further the defense of Mr. Calvillo?
Judge, no, that was the only thing. We wanted to make sure that everything was recalled, Your Honor, and therefore he shouldn't be under this court supervision in the future.
Okay. Well,
Judge,
yeah.
Judge, this is Gabriel's sister. I was just wondering about the monitor that he has on his leg. Is he going to be able to take that off now?
That's correct. That's either a GPS or a Scram device. I'm not sure what, probably a GPS device. And as of right now, he's already pled out on this case. He's been adjudicated, and all those pretrial bond conditions, including that GPS bracelet, are waived. So we can go turn that in anytime after I get this on the computer, which will be about an hour or two from now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much, ma'am. All right. Anything further?
I got one question for you, Judge. Mr. Judge, I got a question for you. Have y'all had any time? This guy, Mr. Calvillo?
Yeah, I got you.
I'm wondering one thing. Have you had any time to review my case at all? As a prosecutor, has any time to review my case? Because I had asked for blood to be drawn from me, because I was not guilty of driving at all. Period. And plus I'm a truck driver, and I didn't have no alcohol in my system. So I asked them to actually draw blood to make sure that they had it on record that there was no blood there was no alcohol in my blood, because I don't want that on my record. And I want to, if you haven't had a chance to review it, I just would like to know if you could get this off of my record. If this could actually be taken off of my record, because I don't need it. I don't need this on my record. I don't mind the conviction being on there, but or whatever it's going to be, but I don't need it on my record because I'm not guilty. I'm actually not guilty of it.
All right, Mr. Calvillo, let me hold you short right there. At this point in time, I'm going to let Mr. Maru and Mr. Miller chat about that. My understanding, I don't know anything about your case other than what's been told to me. My understanding is that you're exactly right. There was no alcohol in your blood test after the arrest. However, my understanding is there was a certain percentage of illegal drugs in your system. And so Mr. Maru and Mr. Miller would be aware of that. Let them explain that to you before we go on. Go ahead, Mr. Maru.
Yes, Judge, that is correct. While there was not alcohol found, there was a cocktail of certain drugs, and I have that here, amphetamines and opiates.
Okay, so I'll let your attorney explain that to you before we go much further today. But what it boils down to is, under our law, the state has the ability to allege intoxication from a source other than alcohol. In this case, it would have been drugs in your system. So that's what the state's position is, that you were intoxicated by virtue of drugs and not alcohol. Mr. Miller, would that be a correct analysis from your understanding?
That is a correct analysis, Your Honor, and I have advised Mr. Calvillo of those issues and made him aware that the state had found that illegal substance in his blood and told him that they could prosecute based upon those findings.
Okay, Mr. Calvillo, at this time, we have the ability on the Zoom business to send you out to a chat room with your attorney where y'all can discuss this. Because what you brought up before us all right now is the fact that you're not comfortable entering a plea and taking a conviction on this case at this time. So,
No, that's what I don't care about the conviction. I was just saying if you could strike it from my record.
I don't have the ability to do that. Your attorney will have to explain that to you. You basically right now, if we let this go forward, have a conviction for the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. You have no jail sentence or other requirements on it. It's a judgment satisfied case, which means that the time you've already spent in jail is the only time you'll have to do on this case. So it's completely over. The only ramification or after effect for you is that you will have on your permanent record a conviction for driving while intoxicated, first offense. Mr. Miller, does all that sound accurate to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions based on mine, Mr. Castillo?
Mr. Calvillo, I think went into a chat room. So let me talk to him. Sorry.
For a little bit. You need to chat with him, Tony, or you want to let him cipher?
I can chat with him, Your Honor. I'd be glad to do that, Judge. I have no problem with that. It's something that I have chatted with Mr. Calvillo numerous times about this issue, and made him aware of the consequences of his plea, but he had advised me that he did want to resolve this matter today through a plea.
Okay, Pat, can you bring Mr. Calvillo back out of the chat room, or does he have to do that on his own? Your microphone is turned off, Pat.
I'm sorry. They have to hit a button and they can go back. They're trying to come back. He's coming. He was supposed to be coming back, Your Honor.
Okay.
We're trying. If not, Mr. Miller, why don't you go into it? It's number 1.
Okay, I'll go to the breakout room and have him come back, Pat.
Okay, help him. Thank you. Help.
I feel like I'm a magician. I can make people disappear. Just poof. Let's give them a couple of minutes. And Judge Joanne, you're back. Are you ready to go on yours? Joanne, your microphone is off again.
That's probably the number one thing judges say these days. Your microphone is mute.
Okay.
Yes, I'm ready.
The judge, he's explaining.
We're going to give Mr. Miller and Mr. Calvillo a couple of seconds to get back here if we can get them back. Otherwise,
Okay.
Ms. Gross, your microphone's turned off.
Yes, sir, I'm aware. Hi, Joanne.
Yeah, hi, Susan. I like your hair.
Oh, thanks. I need a haircut.
No, it looks good.
I like Judge's haircut.
Does he have a haircut? He's on YouTube live. I don't even know what that means.
Old is watching.
To them and ask them how long they anticipate. Oh, Tony's back, it looks like. Okay. Tony, your microphone is off once again. I must do that automatically.
It does do that automatically, Judge. Sorry.
No problem. Is Mr. Calvillo coming back from the chat room also?
I told him to please join us again, Judge, and he was going to do that. I thought he was doing it as would be here by now. But he did confirm to me that he does want to resolve this matter today, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'd like to hear him say that on the record to keep us off.
I completely understand, and if I need to go back there, Judge, I will make sure that he understands he needs to get out here right now.
Pat, can you go in the chat room and explain to him what he needs to do to come out?
I will try, Your Honor. I tried to tell him, but
Did we lose Mr. Miller now also, or do you go back in the chat room? Now we've lost Mr. Miller, Mr. Calvillo, and Pat all at the same time.
Mr. Miller is still trying to get on.